No.
Siman Shinya Daled Seif Beis. So now we spoke about a kli, opening a kli, or making a Pesach in the kli itself. Seif Beis is we're talking about Seif Beis Gimel Daled. Hey, it's talking about when you have a kli already, and there was a hole in the kli, but the hole got stuffed up. So when do we say it's like you're making a new hole in the kli, that it should be also to open up that hole? So it says the Mechaber, there was a hole in the kli, and it got stuffed up. If it's under the shmarim, or the bottom where the shmarim are, also the place now they open it up. Why not? The kimmel the mata, since it's in the bottom, the whole kovid hayayin olav, and all the weight of the wine is on it. Tzarech stima ma'alya, you have to close it up well. The chashiv kipaseach michadash says if you're opening it up, making a new hole, the ma'alim and ashmarim mutter the peischay. If it's on top of the shmarim, then it's mutter. Why? Because that hole is not considered a real hole that was closed up.
But if the hole existed prior in I open it's just like opening a new one.
So it depends where it is. If it's a matam in Ashmarim, it's like opening a new one. Exactly. If it's a matam in Ashmarim, it's considered as it was never closed up really, and therefore it's not also to reopen it. Let's see another seif here, and we'll speak out more. Let's say seif gimel makom nekev yashan, in the place where it's an old hole and you're allowed to open it up. So you're allowed to open up even with like a drill.
Also, it depends on the level.
Yeah, but where it's mutter to open it up, then you're allowed to open it up. If the baraza, the spout, broke, so you're allowed to push it in even with a magdeach. Some people say you're allowed to open up an old hole only in a barrel of clay. It doesn't close up well. But in a chavis of wood, we have to put it in very strong. So in order never to take it out again. It definitely looks like a new nekev, and it is also.
That's only if it's still below the shmarm line.
No, this is even above the shmarm line. This is even above the shmarm. According to that shita, the shmur means down, but we don't paskin that way. Shmur says over here in Seif Katan Yotas, Zuri Dasa Kolboy, the Ayah Bel Rabbis are called the Shah Pritz completely. Zeh Pasuk the Moisam, Chem Pasuk Benachos Svei Up in Regadim Chayada Mashkan Dash Lachish Lachmir Dasa Yashayim. So here, basically, the machlokes is by 8. If it's in so strong, there's as if you mavatal the hole, it's not considered a hole anymore. One more seif dalid. If you have a spout in the chavis, you can't take it out, it's stuck inside. Mutter likach barza acheres, so I take a different spout. Well, haka is ba'oisa barza to hit it, and tzarech lishtais yayim b'Shabbos to push it through, that you can use the new barza on Shabbos to get out the drink. The yayin hagal b'vachla yehei barza rishon neged hashmarim. Same thing as before. It has to be that it's not neged hashmarim, because as long as it's neged hashmarim, it's neged hashmarim. It's called a hole, but it's not meant to reopen.
Isn't there a hefsek between the old and the new one? But the older are retrieved and are put in a new one?
So, but it depends where it is. If it's higher up, it doesn't make a difference. So I take out the old one. Basically, these 3 seifim are saying basically the same halacha, that any time it's a stima mal yaisa that's not meant to reopen, you're not allowed to reopen it on Shabbos. So in the halacha, in the seifim, the Mechaber says also a few times, and the Mechaber is mashma a few times that the reason why you can't reopen a hole by the shmarm is it's not meant to reopen. Like it says in the case of the 8s, you don't have a mind to take it out again, therefore it's awesome. So, really in the Mechaber it's mashma, if it's meant to reopen, it's mutter. If it's not meant to reopen, it's also. It's in a place where it's connected to Hashmorim, where it's never meant to take out, you make a stima ma'alya, it's also. So the question comes today to all our kelim, which you have a mila and you have a chasar. The mila is, come out all our kelim today, and they stuff up the hole, whether it's a cork, whether it's the old milk bottles, whether it's bags. All these cases, when they close up the hole of the bags, it's meant to reopen. They do it in a way that it's meant to reopen.
You mean the serrated area, for example, that's when it's meant to reopen?
Yeah, any steamer they make today in a bag, the old milk bottles, make those spouts, anything, the short corks, all these things that we have today, they're made in a way that you could reopen them, but you're supposed to reopen them. They don't close the hole and you're finished, and now you make a hole in a different place. But the other problem is that they close it up so well that it's steam ma'alya. It's a steam ma'alya. Today's closings are so strong that it's a steam ma'alya.
Or Pesach Yofer.
No, yeah, but if it's a Pesach before, that's not a problem. That's what I'm saying here. This three people are saying you have a hole. Yeah, milk bags not. The milk bags, the Israeli milk bags, of course, they're made on New Pesach. You're not opening it up from the top. That's a short problem. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. One of the places that you open up the place where it was closed originally, the hole that was closed up, now you open it up. Yeah. So there it's a big shiloh, because from this seif is mashma, any hole that's meant to reopen, really should be mutter to open it up. But if it's closed so strong that it loses its shape of a hole, so then it has an issur to open up. So what's the issur in this seifim? Is the issur because it's closed so well that it lost its shape, even if you have a mind to reopen it? Or no, is the whole issur depend on if you close it up in a way that it's not meant to reopen? If you go with B, then they have a big chuluk today for all our bags to open them up. You have to wear a Pesach Yafa because you're opening up the same Pesach and it was meant to reopen. If you go with A, then if it's a good steamer, it's also to open up. And our things are all good steamers today.
But a good steamer is a permanent.
Yes, this is a permanent steamer.
It's
a permanent steamer.
It's permanent because he's closing something for a whole time.
Yeah, but it's not permanent. It's meant to reopen. They do it in a way. So in the old milk bottles, when you make the spout, so there, I'm not sure exactly how it works. It could be that when they put it in the milk and then they seal the top of the bottle. The spout was never there. They never had a spout. The whole top of the bottle was open, and then they close it up, and now you're making a new spout. So that could be a bigger issue. Because that Pesach Yafa, the spout was never there before. So that could be a bigger problem. I remember the old milk bottles, there was a lot of poskim that after it, and it didn't help the fact that it was made beforehand. The bags,
The cartons.
You make the spout and you open it up.
Yeah, you pull it out. It makes
There's old milk bottles that you had a bottle and then you had like a
How old are you?
75?
No, not when they used to get it directly from the cows. So you bought it in the store.
On a horse delivered it.
Yeah, the horse delivered it, yeah.
And if I put a temporary
Silver, silver. That's the silver that's in the bottle.
No, I'm not talking about those. It's all my days.
You said the old one. I know what you're going to do.
No, I meant the spouts.
The milk carton that you got.
Milk cartons. The milk cartons, not milk bottles. Milk cartons. Yeah. So those I remember were a big issue because you're making the spout that you're making was really never there before. The spout was really never there before.
But a milk carton, if you open it before Shabbos, it seems to be it's fine. Yeah?
No, for sure. You open it before Shabbos, it's open.
You're opening up a new.
That doesn't mean you're opening a new thing. It's fine. Open it before Shabbos, 100% fine. Yeah. The problem is the bags. The bags, they seal them, and it's meant to open up. In the exact place where they seal it, it's meant to rip open. So why isn't that called a Pesach? That was there before, and now you're reopening an old Pesach. So a lot of people say that it's sealed so well that even when you're opening up the new Pesach, not the exact thing. So a lot of people want to ask Pesach Yafa. That's what we said before. That's not called the Pesach. Is opening up, emptying contents. You have to head to the last week. But the heter of opening it up as a Pesach, there was a Pesach, and then opening it up as a Pesach that was there before, most of the places will say you don't have that heter. It's sealed so well, you don't have that heter.
So basically you're talking about the tuna can, which is already
We'll get to the tuna cans. We'll get to the tuna cans in a second.
The tab.
We'll get to the tuna cans in a second. We'll get to that in a second. Then you have,
in Bezer it says that if you make the hole above the shmarm, we're talking about where it's even sealed really well below?
Below the shmarm, on top of the shmarm.
Below
the shmarm, it's sealed up very well.
Right. So, but it says then you can reopen the hole, but you could reopen a hole in the top.
If there was a hole on top, then that'll reopen it.
And then even if that, now how well sealed is that hole on top?
So it doesn't say exactly. The Kabbalah says usually when you make the hole on top, when you seal up a hole on top of the shmorim, you don't seal it so well.
Okay.
Therefore,
it's not necessary to open. Yeah, it's not going to.
If it's under, you seal it very well because you don't want to leak. If it's higher up, you don't seal it so well. Our seals and bags today are sealed so well that not even air can get through. Nothing gets through the holes.
Even if you make upside down, it's still sealed.
But then you have the regular Pesach, which is mutter, which is regular wine bottles with a cork. That's a typical case here. The corks are meant to take it out, even though it's sealed so well, they're meant to be taken out. If you use a makdeach, if you use a corkscrew, there's no issue. Why?
What if there's sealing wax? Like what if there's sometimes the wine bottles have wax?
It doesn't make a difference because the hole is meant to open up. The hole is not sealed. You're right. It asks a good question. If it's sealed with wax, it's sealed so well, then it should be awesome. Then it should be awesome. Why is it different in Lamatim and Ashmorim? There's a place in Lamatim. They say it's meant to be opened, and it's the same exact hole. It's the same exact hole. That's the mile of the wine bottles. Is that it's the same exact hole. The bags, when you open it, you open it in the same exact hole. The wine bottles, the hole is there. It's just glass. And you're not changing the hole itself. Therefore, they're matter it. Then you have also all those things that have the silver foils glued on top of it.
Juice boxes.
Right? Juice boxes, the leavens, and all those things that have those. Even the things you buy, the dips you have like a little plastic on top of it. All those things, even though it's sealed well, everyone agrees that that's mutter to open up because that Pesach is a Pesach already. You're not making a new Pesach. So it's such a clear Pesach, you're not doing anything in a Pesach. You're opening it up, and it's considered as if it's a nekev that was Yoshon that was closed, that's mutter to open up. That's the name of those silver foils and plastics, why it's mutter to open up.
But that's also with a bag of milk. It was open, they sealed it, and now you're opening it again.
No, you're opening it, in that milk, you're opening it in a different place. You're opening the top, you're cutting on the side. The angle where you're cutting it, there's never a Pesach. The bag of milk is to show a problem of Pesach Yafa. Because you're not opening in the same place.
But
it's a whole different place.
Even though you're emptying the whole contents, though. I mean, you could claim that
that's something else. You don't make a Pesach Yafa.
Right.
You cut off the whole top. You empty the bag of milk. That's something else.
Right.
That's a different answer. But to make a spout, cut off, that you can pour out from there, that's a big problem on Shabbos.
And this whole business of the cans.
So the cans, right? So the tuna can and stuff like that.
There are two types.
Pop can.
There's pop-ups and there's one which every year.
So the pop cans the problem with the pop cans is that you're making a Pesach that was never there before.
But there's the same idea. You have this perforation.
But it wasn't a Pesach that was there, and now you're reopening it. It was never opened before. To make it easier for you to open up. It was never a Pesach before, and now you're making it into a Pesach.
Is it like a
they don't take it. They don't have a little hole there, and they close it up, and then you're reopening it.
No.
That place when you're opening it up was never opened before.
Exactly. I thought we actually spoke about the can of pop. Remember that can of pop?
Right. That's a problem.
Kind of thing.
That's a problem because you're making a hole in a new hole, Pesach Yafa, on top of the can.
No,
there's never a hole.
But in the pot,
there's never a hole.
There are two holes. There's one hole already made, and there's a cover on it.
No, there's no hole made. There's no hole made. In the soda cans, there's no hole made. So they help you open it up. So it was never made. That's a short issue. Opening up the soda cans is a big problem. Because
what's the solution? Because people drink pop.
Right? I know. I have to tell you. Buy bottles.
And bottles also people have a problem with.
No, so bottle caps, you won't find in the Mechab bottle caps. Bottle caps is a new thing. So bottle caps is a different issue. The problem with the bottle caps is not a problem making a Pesach, because it's a Pesach. The problem is are you making the cap into a Kli?
Yeah.
It's a whole new problem. It's a whole new problem. It's the third issue.
As long as it stays with a little...
That's a question that's good enough. That's a question that's good enough.
Then you're not making...
Yeah, the caps are a whole different issue. So we spoke about the bags and stuff, which the thing itself, you're making into a Kli. That was last week. This week, these three seif are talking about, you have a hole, we close it up, reopening the problem with the hole itself. On bottles, there's no problem of opening the hole. It's a clear hole. It's a clear Pesach. You're not making a Pesach. It's mutter on cans. You're making a Pesach. Caps is a new issue that you're making the cap into a Kli. So here's our machlokes in the poskim exactly how you look at caps. In the caps, there's a big machlokes in the poskim. The plastic caps and the metal ones is a big difference. The chiluk is the plastic caps. That what's the problem? You're making the cap into a Kli. The truth is the plastic caps, they're a Kli before you put them on. Right? They're made. How do they do it? They turn it on, and the plastic piece gets caught down. You can't turn it off until you break the seal. But it was a Kli beforehand. They used it. They turned it on. They put it on. So there's a machlokes is breaking that little seal on the ring on the bottom. Is that called now makir patush in the cap?
Is it a Kli at all?
Is it a Kli?
No.
Yeah.
No.
So it could be a Kli. It's meant to cover the cap, the bottle. So that's the machlokes over there with the plastic ones. A lot of places got matare. They say it was already a cap beforehand, and therefore it's mutter. The metal ones. The problem with the metal ones is that they put it on. It's not a Kli. The way they do it is they put it on and then they press it. And that's when they make the rings, not the rings, what are those things called? The threads. The threads. The threads they make after the cap is on the bottle, they press it, so it's really never a Kli beforehand. Now when you're taking it off, now you're making it into a Kli the first time. That's why...
When they put it on, wouldn't you consider it a Kli?
So that's some places can hold, a lot of places can hold, it's not considered a Kli before they put it on. Because after they put it on, they first press it, and now they make the threads. There are some places that hold that, no, what do you mean? It was covered beforehand. You'd leave it, let's say it wouldn't have the threads, and you have to cover it, you leave it on like that. The way it is, you leave it on. The threads help you put it on tight. So a lot of places after the metal ones, and they say the metal ones are much worse than the plastic ones. The problem is all in the Kli, making the caps into a Kli. That's the issue. Now, the simple is...
How large has to be the Kli to be made?
Lots of places in Kusera. Even just to cover something, consider a Kli.
Okay.
The smallest thing can be considered a Kli.
So here's a question. If the cap becomes a Kli, the metal cap, does it have to be tribal?
No, because it's better to throw out. It's one-time use.
Necessarily, you might put that on. Right?
Yeah, but do you take with the bottle? Well, it's better to use it and then throw it out. Okay. You're right. If you reuse it for something else, it'll be a problem. So if you reuse it, it'll be a problem. Since it's not meant to be reused, it's meant the one-time use. Even if it's one-time means you could use it for weeks for storing something inside, but that's called the one-time use. It's not meant as a Kli. Right? You have coffee cans, coffee bottles. Right? They don't table them. Right to table them. You're using it for months sometimes. The transfer it's not called a Kli. It's not meant to be used for anything else. If after the contact you want to use it to store sugar or something else, then you have to table it. And it's a Kli.
So it's really for extended use. Really.
Yeah, other uses besides.
Repeated uses.
Yeah, repeated uses. It's only meant to keep us inside. They don't need to.
So why would you put a bottle cap of Kli? Because it's the fact of the matter is you're not going to use it.
It's still called a Kli. It's still called a Kli. It may call it a Kli that you're not going to continue using it, but it's a Kli. Consider a Kli in the Gay Shabbos. You're making a Kli. So the H is where the metal ones make a hole on top and destroy it before you open it up, and then you have no problem. Then it's
for example, I was doing a water in the metal. Is it enough to break the ring at the bottom?
Those things are also, they're not metal or plastic.
No, the San Pellegrino.
They're called plastic. They happen to have a metal top, but the inside is plastic. And the same head as the plastic ones. Because it's a clear, they turn it on. Right? They make it before. Those bottles, they make it before they put it on the bottle.
Okay, then the sparkling grape juice, let's say.
Sparkling grape is worse.
That's worse.
Yeah, sparkling grape is, so you make a hole in the top.
Or could you just simply not undo the ring at the bottom? You like pry it open. Like you destroy the ring at the bottom. You just don't make a key.
How are you doing that? You use a clear or not?
I'm using a knife to basically pop the thing under.
Yeah, but what's that going to help? You're still making it into a clear now. So you make a hole on top. Making a hole on top, you destroy the clear before it's a clear. So that's the answer. That's the person says make a hole on top.
But we don't see people do that. I've never been to people where people's house where they lizards that come to you.
In my house, it's already a nightmare. Because one time I stuck a fork into the bottle, and it shot up the whole ceiling until I got the ceiling repainted, so the scripture stains all over the ceiling. So now my kids know every time they open the bottle on Shabbos, they'll go away, and it's in case they get squirted. So people do it still.
Isn't it Mekalka?
No, it's not a kli.
No, but just general Mekalka.
No, it's not powerful. So first of all, we said that Mekalka is only on something. You have to destroy something. Destroying nothing is not a problem. That's why the bags, if you're destroying it, it's mutter. It's a mustaki, there's no Mekalka on a mustaki. Even bags, those who hold that opening it up may be a problem because you're making it into a kli, everyone agrees destroying it is mutter. Either because it's not called a kli yet, so it's not kosher, you have to be Mekalka something, or because a mustaki there's no din Mekalka on. No issue Mekalka on it. So that'll be an answer. You make a hole on top. I'm just telling you, to those who are machmir.
Probably said on a mustaki that there's no binyan, but there's still stira. Right?
And binyan is stira b'kelim.
Right?
Okay, there's binyan there, but not stira. Same thing the opposite.
That's yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's binyan. You know, make a mustaki, but stira there isn't. Chalko, a mustaki there isn't. So that's an answer for those things. Make a hole on top. People don't make it. I'll say they aren't. The people that make it, even the better ones, people that make it, they hold the time to be a kli, or it's a kli beforehand because you could have used it anyway. That's why I don't pass my Shabbos here. I just tell you what the shittas are.
No, but wouldn't it be part of your pre-Shabbos, routine? Open up.
No, the problem is you open up all those things. The Shabbos, then a lot of times they fizz. You don't open it. You open up the sparkling grape juice before Shabbos, because they fizz by the time it comes to the Suda. So people like to open it on Shabbos. But then again, a lot of people open up. I mean, the plastic ones, there was more tearing. Seltzer bottles, and open them all before Shabbos, by the time it comes Shabbos morning, you have water. So people would rather not open it.
I'm thinking of like a Pesach Seder, for example.
Pesach Seder, yeah.
You could open up a lot of bottles before.
Yeah. Pesach Seder.
Is that what people do? I mean,
no, so people like closing it.
On Pesach, you're sitting there doing...
Yeah, so we do. We take it away, the hole on top, and we open it up. Very simple. Why is it so complicated?
I never saw that.
It's Mekalka, no?
Make a hole.
Make a hole?
That's why I was thinking. The teaching the Azori is to make a hole.
Make the hole is Mekalka.
I'm really surprised at Keller, but they didn't think of this before.
So they changed it to plastic. I don't know why they still make metal ones. I'm not sure why. The plastic ones, a lot of people will make them. I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of places are making on the plastic ones. But the metal ones are a bigger problem.
Sorry, so we started with the can that takes the whole top.
So the cans, making the hole inside the can, that could be a problem making a Pesach Yochel. Pulling off the whole top of the can, we'll see soon, the seif evolve.
Right, so that's the thing.
We'll see seif evolve. The hot is right, to chop off the whole top of the kli, we'll see that's mutter. We'll get that soon. That's more of a heter than making a hole. Because the soda cans, you're making a hole, Pesach Yochel. You want to pour it out that way. Now, the tuna can, taking off the whole top, not after you're making it to a Pesach. You don't care about a Pesach. The only issue over here is making a Pesach. Opening it up is not the problem. The problem is you're making a Pesach.
Right.
If you take off the whole top, as soon later on, the lav dafka it's called making a Pesach, and therefore it's mutter. So to open up the whole tuna can, there's more tzad l'hakel. So everyone's making up, but there's a bigger tzad l'hakel opening up the tuna cans. Yeah, the soda cans, I wish I could help you out, but much easier to be matter the sparkling grape juice ones than the soda cans.
And
much easier.
A beer bottle that's got a cap on it. That's not
Yeah, the beer bottles are mutter. It's nothing.
If it's a bottle, but if it's a can, it's the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah, the beer, those little things they pop off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what is it? You're not making it clean. They put it on also. They put it on that way. You take it off. They force it on. Force it off. You're not changing anything. That's a short cut. That's a short mutter. And the hole's there already.
Yeah.
So generally, you should buy bottles and not cans. I mean, generally, it's
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, cans on Shabbos.
Anything with bottles, you have to look to see they haven't written up this week's going
Yeah, they have the long letters.
Some say stamp letters on the
That's another problem.
Yeah, you have to be careful with the bottles. They don't have the numbers on between the cap, the ring and the cap. Sometimes they have numbers there.
And then
They can't open it because
they use alcohol in this bottle before Shabbos. So.
yeah. It's complicated. How many? The best
as
thing,
long as it's not risky.
no, the best thing is, the best H is, I was the opposite, stick to wine or whiskey.
Whiskey, there's no problem.
Whiskey is same problem with the bottle.
No, there's no problem.
Whiskey bottles are screwed up.
Yeah.
It's whiskey.
I don't know whiskey either. Most of them are,
They have the
most of them have those corks, the pull-out corks, yeah. But the cheaper ones maybe have those caps.
See, you need to buy those $100 bottles.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem, but still.
Has a type, yeah.
They're up like single malt.
Right, the Johnny Walker's like have those.
They have the type,
Yeah, right.
I realize they're up like single malt.
Black label, red label.
Okay, fine, that's with the caps. Fine, seif hay. So there's so much written about the cap driver that you can't even give a psak. So there's so many different sheets back and forth. But the basic thing is the plastic ones are the most cowl, the metal ones are next in line, and the soda cans are the worst.
That's it.
Basically,
Just as a quick thing, is the difference between Shabbos and Yom Tov?
no.
Maybe because it doesn't offer that much come into play?
No difference. But there are certain things that matter for Eichel Nefesh and Yom Tov.
Right.
So making it clear is not one of them.
At Trina, the Yom Tov, we start by Trina.
The question is, is or not there? Fine, seif hay. Mutter liten kana chavel b'chavis, allowed to put a kana, a straw, and b'chavis, hoitzi yayin, afish l'hay b'maylam. So what's happening now is basically, you're putting in like a new spout. A new spout, you're putting in an empty straw, and that's letting you pour it out. Still, it's mutter. Afish l'hay b'maylam. Avalitin alash hadas, to put a leaf in it. The neck of shabachavis, Allah also kemarziv. The leaf is made like a spout. Yayin zav that aksham and the wines pours out through that spout. Law, you're not allowed to do it. Why? Because we know shalay yisaket maziv lienoi sheyipel yayin l'toicha v'yelech l'merchak. The choishes that you're going to make a new maziv on Shabbos, which is awesome. So if it's already made, a kana is something that's already made, so you don't make them. It's already made, you put it in. Allah, you're going to use a leaf, you fold it up, you're going to make it into a new type of kli, and that's a problem of making the kli in Shabbos, yeah. So, okay, ha'Allah, of a kaplik, and marziv, nirhu ka'is a marziv, it looks like you're making a marziv, but l'domar the barzai kana, sha'ayin aisa, b'shamaisa. When you take a straw or a barza, it's already made. You're sticking it into the bottle, so therefore it's mutter. Some people are matter even in a leaf. So the Mechaber didn't say a word about Shema Yiktan. The Mechaber said the problem was because it looks like you're going to make a kli. So the Gemara says over here that people are matter. Why? Because no gzeira shema yiktoin. So he learned the Gemara has two reasons why it should be also to use the leaf of a hadas for a marziv. Either the reason is because it looks like you're making a kli, or because it may come and rip one off the tree to use it as a spout. The Ramah's mashma, the reason is because of shema yiktoin.
What is yiktoin? And he makes it comes from. It's based on what?
No, yiktoin is you're going to rip off the tree, and that's the problem of Tailus or Tailus. So says the Mishnah over here. Look at Sif Khan Chavbeis. He says here, if you have some people are makel that there's no problem to go ahead and use alas or hadas. Says the Mishnah over here, it looks like you're making a spout. The Ramah says the chashash is shema yiktaim, who plukta davaroi b'gemara. This is a machlekes in the Gemara. What the reason is? Chad Amar tam isur shema yatzim marziv. One says the isur is because you may end up making a spout. Chad Amar gzeir shema yiktaim. Ha'alam and adaf. You can end up pulling off the leaf from the tree. Litten and the chavritz. From Mina, the Gemara says the my benayah. What's the chalik? The kotim umanchi. You already have other ones. Lamand Omer Shemaz of Oster, Afek Hagavna, or Lamand Omer Shema Yiktoim, Shari. Apostle Karosh Batur, Command Omer Shema Yiktoim. The Rosh and the Torah Pascha, like Command Omer Shema Yiktoim, which is the Ramah. And that's why the Ramah has a kula over here, that if you have other ones, there's no kshash, you can go ahead and.
Did I have to have the other one stuck off to make a marziv, or because I say I use them for besogin? And then, you know what? It's not used for besogin.
Yeah, it's not different. As long as you have other ones. As long as you have other ones lying around, you're not questions, you can go ahead and rip off another one.
But the yiktam isn't the over.
Yiktam is the rice.
By taking it off, he is over.
But it's the rice, right? Therefore, no, he had one, he has. Question he has more.
He has the reserve. But the one that is.
No, he didn't have that one he has also. He has a bunch reserve. He has 4 or 5 pieces. So when that question is going to go ahead and rip more off the tree. So when Avram Sifka and Vav Shema Yiklein. What is zera? You can't use it.
You have eat flesh, and you're not allowing them to make a barza.
You're not allowing them to use it for a barza. Shema Yiklein. What was it from zera? You can't use an Allah for a marziv. Shema Yiklein. What's the 2 zeras?
Shema Yiklein is 1 zera.
That's it.
And the barza is
you can't use it for a barza. Called Shema Yiklein. No? You can't use
what is the reason?
you can't use it for a barza.
What is the reason?
If you don't have any other ones, you can't take this Allah for a
the reason you can't do a barza because of something. But if that's going to be, you might come to.
No, you can't use it for barza Shema Yiklein.
Because if it's not cut, then you can do barza.
Where's the second zera?
I think the kli. I think he's talking about the mechaber.
No, that's a different zera. No, the mechaber is different. So the mechaber says you're not formed to be a kli because with you may end up making a kli.
But you are making a kli. You're taking the aleh.
No, you're using it. You're not shaping it into a kli. Avalitin alas hadas benekef. So mechaber is without making it into a kli is osir. A gzeri maybe you'll make it into a kli. The Mechaber says the reason is you may make this into a kli, you may form it into a kli, and therefore you cannot use it. And the Ramah says it may rip off the tree another while. 2 separate layers. It says the Ramah says Vav Shema Yiktaim Va'avagav the Oichle Behema Ein Behem Shem Tikkun Kli. Even though Oichle Behema we say there's no problem to include Mashkosim Mishtin Chavbeis Dalit Yeshlemer Shederechu Shafil of Oichle Behema Mesaknin Kli also Kvar. Something that's a clear ready beforehand. For example, you have a chavis, you just want to fix something to put into the chavis, that people do make for a kli. But people don't make a kli metchila from oichle behema. So there's no gzeira of making a kli metchila from oichle behema because they're not chayshish, because you're not going to start a whole new kli from oichle behema. But to fix a kli with oichle behema, that there is a chashash. Okay, Sivov.
So is this like a juice box that you take one of those straws for the children?
Yeah, straws mutter to put in. Yes.
So that would be
mutter to put in.
Would be an case of that.
No, the only problem is the Pesach Yafa. But
is it actually considered a Pesach Yafa because it's so small that you're not
small doesn't make a difference.
It's like making a hole in the cap.
No, but isn't that the kana?
Yeah.
The kana isn't. What's the kana doing?
The kana you're putting in. Maybe there's a hole already beforehand.
In the case here?
Yeah.
So what's it called b'chavis barzo?
What's the case?
It's already there's a hole there.
Maybe there's a hole beforehand. Maybe. There was a hole before. It doesn't say.
If it's not a hole before, you're never going to come in.
What?
If there's not a hole there, you'll never put a reed into a barrel.
You can't get a reed into it. Yeah.
It must be blocked out.
The problem here is that no, it could be it's above the drink. It's above the water. There's a hole. It's above the water. You put something in, now you pour it out without stopped. You have a chavis with a hole in it already. Right. But you pour it out straight from the barrel, it's going to spill out in the wrong way. So you put something in, and you let it pour out through that corner.
Okay.
The could be a hole there beforehand. You want to stick the straw in and make a hole with the straw, the could be the hole is a problem.
Yeah.
Even though I'm out of it. I think I'm out of it because you're not making a Pesach and anything.
Yeah, the juice box, the hole was already there beforehand also, no?
Yeah, the hole was there beforehand, but it was covered up.
But it's never open, you're trying to say. It was
covered up. So one of the time they give is, I mean, the juice boxes, you have the leaven. A lot of times kids like to sugar straw to the leaven and drink up the leaven with the straw. So there, one of the term is that, what do you make a Pesach in? In the silver foil? If the Pesach is on the time, you make a Pesach and a kli. You have a kli, you make a Pesach and a kli. Here, you're not making a Pesach and a kli. You're making a Pesach on a silver foil. It's not a Pesach. It's not called a Pesach. So therefore, it could be it's mutter. You're not making a Pesach and a kli. You're making a Pesach on a piece of plastic. It's not called a Pesach. It's one of the term they give.
So why couldn't you take that head there and use it, for example, on a milk bag?
No, because you're making the bag. The bag is a kli.
The bag is the
bag is a kli. You're making a Pesach in a bag. The bag is a kli. Here, the silver foil is nothing.
Right.
If I put in a corner from on the top take the wine through suction, you suck.
Yeah.
Is there an issue?
No, that's fine. Also mutter. Yeah. I heard speak out, which is a very common shower today, a very big shower today. The orange juices we have today, they have those plastic things that pop out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's a big shower. What would you say? Is it mutter also?
Should be mutter. There was a hole before.
Stuffed up, that hole. The hole is stuffed up.
It's a soda can.
It should be like a soda can.
No, why?
One second. It should be like the...
You're not making it a clean.
It's like the yogurt.
You said the yogurt, the foil is removed because there's already a Pesach there.
Right.
The hole was there. The difference between the soda can was never open. The teak I heard before was that by the foil,
right,
you're willing to accept that.
You're not making a hole. There's a hole. Right?
The hole's in.
Just cover it up.
So it's the same thing here. The orange juice has the same mechanism. One is plastic and one is foil.
No. So the problem is the orange juice. There's a hole in the bottle in the container. Right. Then they put a plastic piece in. Right.
After the
fact, they put a plastic piece in.
Yeah.
Right. So now, do you look at it like there's a hole, you're opening up the same hole? If it's silver foil, you're picking up silver foil, you're using that hole. Here, what hole are you using? The plastic piece, you're opening it up, and you're making a hole in the plastic piece.
Yeah.
So now you're making a Pesach in that plastic piece. So you're doing, you're making a Pesach in the plastic piece. It was never there before. That Pesach that you're making now in the plastic piece was never there before.
I mean, look, or you could see it exactly like the foil.
Yeah, but the foil,
right?
Okay, so
no, there is a.
Okay, good. Okay, good. So what do you mean like the foil? Like sticking a straw into the foil?
No.
You said before,
peeling the yogurt is because they have the container. When I peel up the thing, the container has a hole, a pesach on top.
Right.
The whole container is open. I'm using that hole.
Right.
Here, the orange juice bottle.
That's the same thing.
No, there's a plastic in the hole of the orange juice bottle. If you push in the whole plastic piece, you're right. Now you're using the whole of the orange juice bottle. But you're not using the whole of the orange juice bottle. You're making the whole of the plastic piece in the hole.
It's a separate entity, the plastic.
Yeah, the plastic piece is a separate entity.
Wow.
You're making a hole in the plastic.
Yeah.
Right, you're making a hole in the plastic.
I mean,
And that piece of plastic is a clean itself?
Oh, that's the question.
Because if it's not a clean, then it's still working.
So that's the question. So I just thought that it should definitely be also because if being a Pesach Yofa, if being a Pesach, you have a new Pesach. Happened years ago when they first came out with these things. I happened to be in Lakewood, and I was by Smicha Buna in Cohen. He has all the Sfarim on Shabbos. I happened to be in his shul for Shabbos of this. And he's walking out, going to the Kiris Havana. So I said to him, "What are these new plastic things? What's the heter? Mutter." I said, "Why mutter?" And he ran out. That's as much as I got. I didn't even want. I wanted an explanation why it's mutter, but he was running out. Because it wasn't here, then I couldn't get hold of him afterwards. So he said mutter. So you have a psak.
Nope.
And it's mutter. It could be the reason why it's mutter is because you're not making a Pesach Yofa in the orange juice bottle, because the orange juice bottle has its hole already. There's a plastic piece inserted. That's not the orange juice bottle. So you're not making a Pesach Yofa in the container. What are you doing? You're making a Pesach Yofa on the plastic piece. What's the plastic piece? Like we just spoke about before, you stick a straw into the silver foil, you make a Pesach Yofa in the silver foil? Foil's nothing. So it could be the same thing over here. What is it? You make a Pesach Yofa in that plastic piece. The plastic piece is not a kli, it's nothing. It could be that standard. It'll be mutter. So that's the reason why it's mutter. So then you'll have a heter for those plastic things.
Why is a plastic piece different from a plastic bottle cap, for example?
But the cap is a kli. It's meant to close, open and close.
Well, this
you have a cap on top of it. The plastic piece is nothing.
You separate it. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. You have the cap. You have the plastic cover on top that closes it. Yeah. So what do you make a Pesach Yafa in? You're not making this plastic piece into a kli.
Oh, you don't, because the orange juices have two things. They have the plastic cap, and then they have the thing underneath to pull it out.
Right.
So
the plastic cap, you can open and close without it. It's fine.
The plastic cap.
The plastic cap is not a problem because it's take it out open before you take out that plastic piece.
Yeah.
That plastic piece, when you pop out, maybe holds is not called making a Pesach Yafa in anything. So therefore it's mutter.
Does it have a din of muktzah? Once you take it out, it's
garbage.
You can't really play with it.
Well, what do you do with it? It's garbage, it's probably muktzah. That'll be heter. Because I never checked into it more. Since he said mutter, I just opened them up. But I'm sure they're ice. I can't imagine the orange. Okay.
We can take your word. Now I'm taking your word.
Yes, you have his heter. I think we covered all caps, right? All different types of caps.
What's the psak on the tuna fish?
Oh, that's next year.
Okay.
You have those, the bottles with the, you have to basically flip open the cap. I mean, it's like, the ceramic cap we run, where like the old Coke bottles, which they slam down this kind of piece of metal over the top. Isn't a
no, that's nothing. It's more. That's a big bottle.
Yeah.
That's nothing. That's a clear. The cap beforehand, and you have to do anything. You have to change anything. Yeah.
The one with the bottle, like the beer bottle.
In Hebrew, they call them the keter caps.
Yeah,
keter caps, right? Okay. Seif Vav.
Guys,
They can't open those things, is it? Okay, Seif Vav. Mutter lahat is a chavis, allowed to chop off the top of a chavis. So here you have a chavis. Tonight we spoke about making a hole in it. I'm not making a hole, I'm chopping off the whole top of the chavis. So allowed to do that with seif. To love the Pesach mechaven, kimin shemeisir roisha. I'm not doing it for a Pesach. There's a big heter over here. Anytime you're chopping off the whole top, it's not a Pesach. There's a way to get the contents out. It's not called a Pesach. A Pesach means you're opening up something. I spoke about this last week. You're opening it up and you're making a way through that to take out the contents. That's not what I'm doing over here. I'm chopping off the whole top. Kimin shemeisir roisha. Instead of chopping off the whole top, it's mutter. So if we look in Seif Katan Zayin, the Magen Avraham, Reish HaChavis, mashma afilu lahatiz, guf HaChavis, imam ha'gufo shari. Even to chop off the chavis itself, not just the magufo. I'm chopping off part of the barrel is mutter. Kachos of ataisvis, taf memches, umayrish a dibish of rabazachas. It has to be called a mustaki. So when I chop off the chavis, the magufo was the thing you put on top of it, but the top. The chavis itself, you don't have to map it. You can chop off even part of the chavis. It's mutter only if it's a mustaki. Avatur calls it mutter lahatis reisha magufo. Only the magufo you allowed to chop off. So there's two things here. The Magen Avraham see. You want to chop off the magufo with part of the chavis, you're not makbid when you chop it off. If it's a mustaki, it's mutter. If you're taking off just the top, even on the chavis, it's mutter. Removing the top is not called making a pesach. Now, obviously, we're talking about that it's on so strong that it's considered that there's no pesach anymore. If it's called a pesach that we had before in the seif, so you're allowed to reopen a pesach. Obviously, the magufo was put on so strong that it's mevatel l'shem pesach on top of the chavis. So you're allowed to chop it off. It's not called making a pesach. Why? Chopping off the whole magufo, the whole top. So even though you're chopping a part of the chavis, it's mutter because it's a mustaki. So let's stop here a second. It comes down to the tuna fish cans, taking off the whole top of the can. So there, first of all, it's a mustaki. So you don't have to worry about if it's part of the kli, it's not part of the kli, because the pashtus, even tuna fish cans are called mustakis. The some achreinim wanted to say that tuna fish cans are not called a mustaki because they use it to store things in them. Today, we don't do that anymore. Come out. That's a real old timer. But tuna fish cans, no one puts even screws in there anymore. They're thrown out. So therefore, it's called a mustaki. So to take off the whole top is not a problem. Because take off the whole top is not called making a pesach. That is the klal. Anytime you're taking off the whole top, it's mutter. So if you have a can, if you have a soda can, right, and you want to open the whole top, that's mutter. To make a hole in it to use it for a pesach, that's already awesome. Taking off the whole top is mutter because that's not called a pesach.
Use a can opener?
Even with a can opener, maybe, yeah. Yeah.
Everybody is saying no.
Maybe even with a can opener. Because
they have to
what
make
are you
a hole
doing?
in the bottom.
You're not making a pesach. What's the issue of the can opener? What's the issue of the can opener?
Who
Who says in this one in the can opener? I don't know.
You don't have to make a hole in the bottom?
I don't know. You don't have to make a hole in the bottom. No, it's the same now. You don't have to make a hole in the bottom because you're not making a kli. You're not making a kli here. You're taking off the whole top. It's not. You don't use that. It's not called making a kli. So the ones that they have that you pop open and show them what the other ones you want to use a can opener. I'm not sure. I don't know what the issue should be with using a can opener. What's over the chal? What are they doing?
You're cutting the
precise size.
Well, it is usually when you open up
I know there are people that talk asking. I know my wife's very mad to open the tuna fish cans before Shabbos. I never asked for why. But I know she's very mad to open them before Shabbos.
Wise man.
Everybody opens before Shabbos.
But I don't know, it could be...
Everybody opens before Shabbos.
It could be that it could be the power of the can openers. I don't know, I'm not sure.
Manual can openers.
Yeah.
Trying to go around.
Yeah, that's what this should be. It's not an issue of opening it up as a kli. Because we see now, take off the whole top, it's mutter. And you're not going to tell me that's called a Pesach Yofa because you're not just chopping it off, you're opening it up along the... Because that's the only way you can open it. You can't take off the whole top. And you can chop off the whole top, you chop off the whole top.
And you're not making it a kli because it's
not making it a kli, right. So to open them up is not a problem. Use a can opener, I don't know. I'm not sure.
We're making jagged edges. You're not making
nobody is never here.
It's not called a Pesach. If we not open it up.
Yeah.
Start taking off the whole top. Our nakto b'tzida, but to make a hole on the side, ben shal chavias, ben shal magufa asa. To make a hole in the magufa on the side is also walk. It's already Pesach. So even though I chop off the whole top, but to make a hole in it, that's already asa because obviously you're doing it to take it out from there. It's still also it's still also the keeping the Hava Mitzida, Vada the Pesach Mechavim. If you're doing it from the side, Vada you're doing it for an opening to pour it out from. The Likav Magufa the Maila, to make a hole on the top of the Magufa, Mutter, why? The read the lava Pesach Mechavim, Shein Derech Lasa is Pesach L'Maila, to call a Magufa. You don't make a Pesach on top. You take off the whole thing if you're doing it. Why make a hole on top for? There's no reason to make it on top. If you're doing it on top, it's a raya that's not for a Pesach. You can't change that on cans. On cans, you're doing it for a Pesach. Why are you doing it on top? Because you don't make it on the side.
So basically, the aim of the southern can is to make a hole on the side.
Yeah. Make a hole on the side.
Make a hole on the side.
Yeah, you just take up the whole thing.
Is it a Pesach?
No, not to make a Pesach.
Hold the side, hold the top, the same story.
It's but we're saying you're chopping it off. You make a hole, you pour it out through the hole, maybe not. You pour it out through the hole because you're using that to pour out.
The side, everyone probably would be outside in any situation.
Yeah, but the side, it depends what you do. Here, the side is a problem because that's how you pour it out. Pour it out from the side. If you're doing it on the side of the soda can and you're using it to pour it out from it, it's the same issue. You chop off the whole top of the soda can and have your mutter. Siv Cotton Ches, the Maila mutter, but after B'chav is Osir, even though on the Chavis it's also to make a hole on top, but because of Sif Aleph, Magufa Shani, the Chavis, the Fulum Haya Osiri Hanekev, Shebe Magufa Lahachnas Lahaitzi, Loy Mechayiv. Even if you would make it Lahachnas Lahaitzi, it would be Nisa Deraisa. V'hacha Kivin She'enai Osir Lahachnas Lahaitzi, Shari. Here, since you're not doing the Lahachnas Lahaitzi, it's Mutter. Now, if you read the Mogav from the way it says it, it's Mashma. That since if I make the lahachnas l'haitzi, it's a deraisa. Therefore, if I'm not doing the lahachnas l'haitzi, it's mutter. We already spoke out last week that even a musliki, if you're doing it oy lahachnas oy l'haitzi, it's awesome. So what does it mean over here? So Pri Megadim speaks out over here. What it means is in our case it's mutter because I'm not mechaven for a Pesach at all. Over here it's mutter because it's not considered a Pesach. Making the hole on top is not considered a Pesach. It's a raya, they're not doing it for a Pesach. And the reason is because if you look at the Mishnah Berurah Sivkon Chav Zayin, it speaks it out here. Vada le Pesach Mekavin. The im eina Mekavin le Pesach, v'lahachir moitzi ayayin. If he's not mechaber for a Pesach, he only has a mind to be able to get the wine out, that's a magufa. You should open the magufa. Aber kshenaykev the magufa l'mayla, akarchach lav the Pesach mechaber she'ein derech lasa sham Pesach shlayiplu off of its service. You don't make a Pesach there because you don't want dirt to fall in there. So if you want to make a Pesach to be able to take it out, and not just to open it up, you have to get the contents out. You wouldn't make the Pesach on top. You make it on the side. So it's a raya that you're not doing the Pesach for a Pesach. You're not opening the L'Shem Pesach. You're opening it just to get out the contents. So here it's very clear in this seif. Like we spoke about last week, that anytime you're making something to open it up just to get out the contents is not called a Pesach. So therefore, opening a potato chip bag, the Issa won't be a Pesach. The Issa maybe it's not called a Mustaki Bisor because you're using it to store the contents. If you look at Sif Katan Chavav, this verse speaks to that clear also, that as long as it's a Pesach, even in a Mustaki it's awesome. Al Nakba B'tzida, he says, the Nekev Harehu Ka'oisa Pesach L'Chavis. I feel Nekev Kotim She'enei Osu L'Hachnas L'Oisa Gam Ke'osu M'Dabonam Bein B'Magufa U'Bein B'Chavis. And there's Chilik B'Neim. The Inge Magufa Einei Osu B'Nekev K'zeh Elek She'oisa B'Nekev Mitzida Shal Magufa Al K'shunakva L'Mayla B'Shal Magufa Limshach B'Shal M'Zayayim Mutter. Al B'Chavis Osu. So you see, it speaks out of Furish that the Nekev cotton, even in the Magufa, which is not part of the Kli, it's a Mustaki in the Magufa, still it's awesome. As long as you have a mind to make a Pesach, it's awesome. So that's the how we come out of all these seifim. Even in the mustaki, if you're doing it, not to open it up to get the contents out. You're doing it to make a Pesach, to use this as a way to pour out the contents. That's also even a mustaki. If it's not a Pesach, you chop off the whole top, then it's mutter. Therefore, two fish cans, you're chopping off the whole top. There's no din Pesach here, and therefore it's mutter.
Would it be different again if it's the serrated one where you just pull out the ring, or if you use like to go around and make it in a jagged edge?
No difference. Because you're not making a Pesach.
So then the big potato chip bag.
Yeah.
You're intending to.
Yes, that's what we said. A big potato chip bag, the Issa won't be making a Pesach. The ones that ask for the big potato chips bags, they say, is because it's not a mustaki.
Yeah.
So you're not allowed to be seif, even so it's not a mustaki, you're not allowed to open up. You're allowed to break it open. A kli, you're not allowed to break open on Shabbos. If it leaves the shem mustaki, then it's awesome. That's why we said that after Pesach, it wouldn't be a problem. To be a pound Pesach, you wouldn't have a heter. It wouldn't be so easy to be making. To make a Pesach, it's awesome. Even a mustaki, it's also to make a Pesach. The heter is there, it's not a Pesach. It's an opening to get the contents. Therefore, if you consider it a potato bag, even though you're using it until you empty the contents, you consider it a mustaki, therefore it is mutter. Okay. Stop here. Next week was Zayin Ches.